Okay, so we're on part four of why I stopped doing drugs. I'm kind of like I don't write my stuff down, so this is gonna be kind of like crazy. Um, so why I stopped doing drugs? Like I said, we I had just died. I had just died because I had been doing too much ecstasy, obviously, and then my heart was too weak. So the anesthesia reacted with my heart. I died. Went into a coma. My coma lasted for like 2.5 weeks. Like even my mother would tell me eventually that my the doctor didn't actually think I was gonna come back out of it. Like he didn't know. So she got really scared and she told me about that. I was crying. And I was like, oh no, it's weird. I'm like, you have to understand, it was not a good look for me. Um, being in critical condition because like like I had diapers on. I had diapers on. Like literally, a nurse would come in because, like I said, I needed to learn how to walk again. So like they would literally pick up my legs and like wipe me up like a baby. Like she was a pretty hot nurse. You can't really hit on a nurse when they're wiping your butt. Okay. Um, that was not a good look for me, and it was a really long because I mean I was in a coma for like 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, and then after that I like I said I need to learn how to walk, so I was in there for a while, like another few weeks, and it just felt long. Like I actually like I remember I literally started watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians because there was nothing else on TV, so that's all I would watch. So I know all the characters. I know all the beef, at least for those seasons. Um, and it was kind of lonely because I think I was like in Harlingen. I don't know where I was in the hospital, but I like my friends couldn't come visit me, or I guess they didn't want to visit me. And maybe a few nurses came and visit, or a few teachers, and I think my dad visited me, which is weird because he doesn't like me and I don't really like him. Um, and it was just weird. It was like you're there like long periods of time. So like the only good times I was having was like maybe my mom and my brothers would come visit. So I was really scared. I was really scared when I was there. And so when I obviously started walking again, I and it was really really hard to learn how to walk. Like I was doing these little things where I would get out of the bed, I would like, just get out of the bed, get in the bed, get out of the bed, get in the bed. And at one point I literally started walking. Like my big achievement was like going to take a shower by myself. Um and it was like the world was spinning, but I'm literally like moving like mm, 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 like it was weird, weird experience. And so all that combined, I kind of had this fear of like hospitals. Um, so when I immediately got out of um, that hospital, critical condition, I started hanging out with my friends again, who were doing drugs, and I started doing a lot more weed with them because they had a lot more weed. This guy was giving them free weed, I guess, to hang out with them. Creeps, by the way, there's creeps out there that want to hang out with young children. So I was like, whatever. I wasn't hanging out with him. I was just getting free weed from my friends who were hanging out with him. So yeah. So anyways, I was hanging out with them for long periods of the day, and I kind of didn't really want to think about anything. I kind of just wanted to like chill with my friends because of this whole ordeal. And also, I was at working at McDonald's still, I think, or I think I'd gotten another job as like a tutor for children, like a math tutor for children. Dude, I was hanging out with like I should not have been like being taking care of children. It's okay, nothing happened. They were like, I took care of little kids. I'm like pretty responsible when it's not myself. When it's other people, I'm pretty responsible. Um so anyways, I started doing a lot of drugs, a lot of weed specifically. Um I started getting high, but it wasn't the same anymore. It was kind of like I would get a lot more paranoid, like a lot more paranoid. And I was getting to like I don't know if you've seen that movie The Matrix, but I saw the movie again when I was high, and it was a not fun experience because what happened was I started having this like existential crisis because I kept believing, or my mind is a real dick, because it started coming to this conclusion that maybe, possibly, I was still in a coma, and I was just creating this world, kind of like if you've seen that movie. Oh, it's with Leonardo DiCaprio. It's with Leonardo DiCaprio, and like he goes into your dreams or something, and they go into their dreams and they don't know they're in their dream. I don't know what it's called, but yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about. So you go in your dream, and the guy doesn't know he's in his dream. So that's what it felt like. Like that's what I, or not what it felt like. That's what I was coming to the conclusion. My brain was going into this like mentality every time I would get high that maybe I was still in my dream or like in my coma state, and I was just kind of creating this world because I was still in my coma. So obviously the Matrix and that movie really, I started getting these existential crisis and panic attacks. And because of that, I started getting very nervous when I would get high because I didn't like it. Like I started not liking it. So I started moving more towards ecstasy and, coke. And I mean, it was like really not great time for me. Like I was literally doing dusters at school. Like cuz I was running out of drugs because ecstasy, hung out with this girl and she was not all there, dude. And apparently she was really smart before, but then afterwards she like got real like she would space out a lot. And apparently it's cuz like my friends would say that she had holes in her brain cuz she did ecstasy like literally every day all the time. And I was like, oh no, I don't want that. So I got a little scared of that. And I was like, actually, it's not even that cool because we would go to raves now. And I was like already 17, I think, at the time. And I was old. Like I was an older guy now because like people at raves are young. They're like 14, 15, 16, maybe 17-year olds. Except for like DJ. DJ's always old. But it was like not a good look anymore. Um, so there wasn't really a reason for me to do ecstasy, weed, I mean, I could still do coke, but like coke is just like it's so expensive. Like you can't do that all the time, dude. It's really expensive. So, because coke, the bad thing about coke is like coke doesn't have a negative response. Ecstasy, after you're done doing ecstasy, you don't really want to do it for a while because you're like so dehydrated and stuff. Like you're looking for like orange juice and like water, and like you're just trying to get like that little more of a buzz with like um oh, what is that? It's like it's not Vaseline. It's like I don't know what it is, but it's like a you sniff it, like you put it in your nose and you sniff it, and it like really adds to the high when you're on ecstasy. But yeah, afterwards you're not really feeling it anymore. You're like just tired. Or with coke, you're not. You're like just like let's keep going. But like I said, it was expensive. So, because I was running out of drugs, I kind of like started going like rock bottom, kind of like I was at school doing like dusters, like getting caught doing dusters, which is pathetic. Dusters, if you don't know what dusters are, they're literally dusters for like cleaning the like laptops and stuff. They like, I think they have like nitrogen, so you like sniff it or you like, you can, well, you pretty much suck it until, which is gay. You suck it and you get nitrogen in your body, and like your brain can't breathe. You're pretty much suffocating your brain, and then you pretty much black out, or in your mind. How do I say it? Like you just black out, and your speech gets really like dark. Like instead of talking like this, I'll talk like this. And then one more incident, like I had hit rock bottom because I literally hit concrete. I went to go take care of my brother's daughter. Well, I don't think he was his daughter at the time, but my brother had just met this girl, and I was at their house, and I was supposed to take care of my niece, who's my niece now. And I was in the back, I was in the garage. And when I was in the garage, I told them I would clean their tower of their computer, and they gave me a duster. And you don't give a duster to somebody who's like really wanting drugs. And I hadn't done dusters in a long time, so I didn't like realize how weak I was to it, I guess. So I pretty much just did it, and bro, I hit like the concrete hard. It hit my head. My brother came out rushing because apparently he heard it because it was so loud, and It was not a good look for me because now they were realizing my family was slowly realizing I was doing a lot of drugs, and it wasn't a good look.